What's your Chicago? Let's go to Chicago for a second. What exactly is your Chicago roots? How did that come about? What was your interaction down there
So
in
my whole
Chicago?
family is from Chicago. My mother met my father on the trip here. We went back when I was 3 months. And until I got locked up, I literally been back and forth. I know the south side of Chicago like I know the east side of Detroit. Then lived in the Robert Taylor homes before they tore down the high rises, 95th Street, 67. That's really the hood, Murder Town, 067, Gangster Disciples, you know what I'm saying? But just gangland, as Detroit is drugs, so is Chicago gang, right? And that shit like religion.
Mm.
And I think a part of the problem with Detroit gangs is if you never know the literature, then what's compelling you?
Yeah, yeah.
See, the literature, for me, bro, that shit, even to this day, I stand on growth and development, economics, social development, politicals, and I live that shit, right? So when you following some shit and it don't got no meaning to it, you can't be nothing but all over the place.
Mm.
And in my literature, you gotta go to school. When we, and that's a big thing, missing that big homie, they take your ass to school, my nigga. Like, what the fuck you doing out here? You know what I'm saying? You in the way if at best, you know what I'm talking about? So, you know, yeah, so Chicago was just, gangland for real. Like, for example, real fast, take the dark side shit and it became the worst zip code in the country by 93. If you look at 93, not only was it 10 murders in a 10 by 10 block radius damn near every day, but you had 20 gangs.
Mm.
And everybody had choppers, baby knockouts, PDQs,
Yeah.
044 start coming down there. Lyndhurst Lynch Mob, us, fucking RCs, fucking IUTs, fucking, and everybody, so you gotta think, bro. Like, I still live in the hood and it ain't nothing like it was then, bro. That bitch used to go up every day, all day, versus Chicago where the whole hood might be
This one,
G's.
yeah,
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 you gotta
got you.
go to the mall or over there somewhere to
Yeah.
get in some
Where
dumb
you can
shit.
literally cross streets and it's
Man, we beefing with them niggas over
over
right
right
there
there.
type
Yeah,
shit. Yeah,
got you,
yeah,
got you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the introduction of GD's Crips, specifically in the dark side area, which was originally, before it became a red area, it was originally an area where there were a lot of Crips and a lot of GDs, right?
Definitely.
Talk about the introduction of that. When did you first come to the realization that this was the movement, this was the thing in that specific area? And then also, was it a lot of other GDs and Crips like in different areas of Detroit, or was that like a hub? And like, how did that hub even come about?
So it's always a debate who was first, what happened. I can only speak to my time and my space. I don't know what the West Side was doing. Again, when you talk 48205, I tried to put cats on GDism 2 or 3 times. They wasn't buying it. They like, where the bag at, my nigga? How much money in this shit? What the fuck is GD, nigga? So when music and the rap shit, West Coast influence, different movies, menace to society, boy. So this is when the gang culture became seductive, So now cats wearing khaki, like I got on Dickies right now,
Yeah,
my
for
nso
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Now cats wearing khakis and shit, walking slew footed and shit, right? But so as a GD, so let me make something clear as the be shit, bro. Bloods and people ain't the same, and Crips and GDs ain't the fucking same. When I see Bloods throwing fives, unless they off of T. Rogers, Black P. Stone line, it's just an oxymoron to me.
Mm.
Chicago folks and people is a bazillion miles away from California folks and blood. So when I first met a Crip, it was kind of a little staticky a little bit. First of all, we are always to the right. In Chicago, we didn't fly rags. We fly You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
So when I see this dude with this blue flag in his left pocket, that shit kind of was like, this nigga on, you know what I'm saying? And when he hit me up with the neighborhood, I'm like, is he throwing up VL in some obscure, abstract type of motherfucking way? Because I couldn't identify with this shit, right? But when he, Crip, now I'm like, oh shit, colors. Now I'm able, but that shit was foreign to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we was different, but they ended up moving upstairs, right? And when you eat together and you hunt together and you fight together, shit, you kind of couldn't tell us from them. Probably like if a lot of like everybody, they was rolling 60s. They was rolling 60s because that's the name, I guess, that stood out most. But it was just an alliance, man. Not all the GDs, not all the rolling 60s, just us right there, right? And then again, bro, Cash just started. I don't know if we lost favor, but Cash just started, switching, man. Like, I'm talking about Cash that was just with us at Eastland on one tip, and then, not to be funny, but what used to anger me about it is they used to try to be on some hush hush hoe shit with it. Like see me and be like, oh shit, let me tuck the rag. And I'm like, be proud of that shit, my nigga.
That's what you're gonna
if
do.
that's what you're doing, right? I can't, I mean, I could have an opinion about the flip, but it's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you comfortable and, represent that shit,
Sure.
like if you look at my pages, I fuck with Bloods and Cali, I fuck with people, and I don't give a fuck what you are. Be a real motherfucking nigga or a black man, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but shit changed, bro. I come home, I'm like, what the fuck happened? But
Yeah.
but I couldn't be mad about it.